Nah, brisket will be sick. All right.
I kind of wish.
This is the Hotone Verbera. This is, in my opinion, the most exciting reverb pedal in the last few years. My name's Rue, I'm a guitarist here in Nashville, Tennessee, and today this is what I am discussing. It is the Hotone Verbera. It's very exciting, very interesting, very unique pedal, and I was lucky enough to have my friend Noah Krieg lend this to myself for this video. Where do I begin? The Hotone Verbera is unlike other reverb pedals. I'm going to put it down, but we'll dive in a bit. Basically, a conventional reverb pedal is usually analog or digital, and the digital ones contain algorithms. Now you can have a pedal that has 100 different algorithms, or maybe 3, but you've got things like hall, shimmer, plate, room, spring, and then some others that are modified or made up. This is similar in a way, but what you're using is an impulse response. An impulse response is a wave file that is a microphone capturing a certain piece of equipment or a certain space, or the impulse response can be entirely fabricated by someone who is a lot more tech savvy than I am. Then you load it into this, and it's kind of like a sampler or almost like a wave player, in that when you pass a note through it, it recreates the sound of that said space or device. So I've got a few real and fake spaces I've used in this video. I've put in some wave files of some really interesting stuff that I've figured out. And then, I've got some cool things. Michael Nielsen put out a great pack of delays and reverbs, especially rack stuff, which has recently made a big comeback, and I'm very happy about that. And I've put them in, and I'm going to play through them and show you, and I'll show you my favorite functions. And yeah, I'm really excited. This pedal is a bit of a game changer. So, all right, let's dig into the Hotone Verbera.
I get it.
Alright, here's what I've done. I've made a little preset that I really like, and I'm going to show you how I can mess with it, and then I'm going to show you how I can load some other IRs in. So this is an IR called Flint J Mayer 63. It comes from Michael Nielsen's IRs pack that he's put up. It's called like the Ultimate 80s Rack Pack, but I bought it. It had this in it, and it got me really curious, because I used to have a Flint pedal, and I've had a couple, and for a long time I was a big fan, and then I kind of fell off it, but this is a way to have it without having to have it, if that makes sense. So check it out. It's just meant to be like a spring. And I've lowered the decay and put up the mix, but here's how it sounds with the decay all the way up. Tone's going to be set to 0, and the mix is going to be at 25. All right, let's check it out. It sounds good. It sounds really good, honestly. Yeah, it's really interesting putting, just an IR of a pedal through and seeing like how close it gets to the real thing. I should also note everything's running through the John Mayer plugin by Neural DSP. I want to thank Ryan over there for gifting it to me. That was really kind. I was looking for a practice solution, and he fixed me up. So yeah. All right, let's switch it. I'm going to put the mix way down and show you. Mix is on like 8. It's there, but it's not as overpowering. So it doesn't feel amazingly digital. It feels pretty natural hearing the decay ring out and the response of it. And that's a big plus for me. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch to like a completely different kind of IR. So here's one of my favorites. It's called Ghost Reverb. I'm gonna put the mix up to 15 and play a big C chord for you. So, it's a weird staticky, shimmery thing. Now, I really love doing this kind of weird ambient business. So while I'm here, I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of the Verbera. If you've got a reverb you love and you want a little more but you can't find the sweet spot, what you can do, you can hit this button, the Alt menu, and you get a second reverb. So I'm going to put the mix on this up to 20. I'm going to put the decay to 2 seconds, roughly. 204 is the closest I'll get. So do that. And I'll put the mod depth up to 25. Let's hear it. So yeah, as you can hear, just adds a little extra something. So all right, I'll turn that off. So I don't want to do too much deep diving here. I'm just showing you a couple of my favorite things. Then this is where the pedal has gotten really interesting for me. Instead of just loading in IRs, I thought, well, I can load in a .wav file. Why don't I just load in samples? Like actual samples I have of jungle tracks, of EDM stuff, of random percussion, of random things. So here is a pad that is going to be triggered and play through any note I play. So. So what I've done is I've loaded in a different IR, which is a Brocasti M7 Echo Chamber IR. And it's really good sounding. Pretty nice and subtle. I'm going to show you how the freeze function works. So. All right, so looking at the pedal, it seems a bit confusing at first, but I'll break it down for you. It's easy as. So the top row affects reverb 1 and 2. You've got your decay, your attack, and your tone, and those are for the IR. And then for the built-in reverb, you've got your decay, you've got a pre-delay, and you've got a mod. Your preset allows you to switch between different presets that you have saved in the pedal. The mix is going to be for your IR, and then the IR can be selected through here. It's a little scroll back and forth menu. So what I'm going to do here is quickly just show you. I'll put the tone all the way up and I'll put the decay down. It should make it bright. And then I'm going to put the tone all the way down and the decay way higher. It should sound pretty like swallowed up. So as you see, basic controls that allow you to modify the IR a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is, say I've got a sound I like, but I want a little more. I'm going to press Alt/menu. You'll notice that these knobs no longer have any lights going on. It's because you add the second reverb in here. Now you've got a decay, a pre-delay, which I'll set to say 12 milliseconds. And then your mod, I like to set the mod to about 20, not too much, not too little. And then, so roughly 20 there. There we go, 21, that's good. And then the mix I'll set to 30. And this just allows me to add a little more to what's already going on. Now from here you can modify it even further if you want, but what I really want to dig into and what I really want to go into is the IRs I use live and how I use them. And I want to discuss maybe the most incredible feature I've seen in a reverb pedal in my entire life. There's just one feature about this pedal that has consistently kind of shocked me and made me think about a lot of things reverb-wise and how I utilize them and how I want to utilize them moving forward. I watched a video by Michael Nielsen, who's just, you know, is a beast of a musician, but is super forward thinking when it comes to gear. And he had a similar thought to what I did. I put up a video showing that there was a drum break built into this. And I guess this got Michael thinking because he thought, what if I upload IRs of my delay and my reverb pedals? What if I put them in here and then I can bring my big rack units on the road or to a gig with me because I have them captured in here. And so I downloaded a pack from his website that is exactly that. He's captured IRs of all of his favorite reverb and delay pieces. So here is a PCM70 circular delays IR being played through the Verbera. Now I've never played a PCM70, but I've always been a big fan of the circular delay thing. And although I can't tap tempo it here, what I can do is bring out this, which is a killer sounding PCM70 tone. Now he's included different versions, a little shorter one. And then he's put in other pieces of gear that he really likes. So I'm going to skip ahead here within this a little bit, and I'm going to go to the SPX 90 stereo. And as you can hear, it's just a stereo echo. Unreal. Now, I actually took this in a bit of the opposite direction. I thought, well, if I can upload a WAV file with, you know, up to 20 seconds of length, I can upload anything. So I started loading in Amen and drum breaks. pretty intense and pretty insane. But I've got some stuff in here I've uploaded that just, it works. As weird as all of that is, it's just a fascinating feature that I think is going to be the next kind of big thing in delay and reverb pedals. Everyone's used to getting an algorithm or multiple algorithms and sifting through that. But if you're able to clone your favorite reverb or delay pedal and then bring it, it's going to be like digital modeling all over again. Where, well, I want to go do the gig, but do I bring my deluxe or my Vox? Oh, I have to go direct, so I'll just bring this, and it does both anyway. Something the size of this will be able to hold all your favorite reverb and delay pedals, which is just, I think that's going to be a pretty fascinating thing moving forward. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works out. All right, so as you've heard, the Hotone Verbera is a pretty expansive pedal. It can achieve some familiar reverb sounds, but what it does is it allows you to explore unfamiliar territory that's really unfamiliar territory for most guitar players. Reverb IRs have existed in the DAW and studio space for a long time, in rack pieces and stuff. But for us in pedal form, this is really new, and this is something a lot of us probably didn't think of. But being able to discover that I can have my delay pedals and rack delays in there, and then I can load samples in, allows me to begin thinking of reverb in an entirely different way. It's almost like a new effect emerging. You know, this pedal really is about space. That's what reverb pedals are. And we filmed this in my space, and recently in my playing I've been thinking about space. I think this pedal couldn't have come at a more perfect time, because all these things have kind of convoluted and come together, and it's given me a refreshing outlook on the guitar. The pedal sounds amazing, it feels amazing, but what it is it's a new instrument in a way, if you play it correctly. So look, as I sign off, I think this pedal's unreal. You can catch me gigging it around town a bunch and probably making silly noises with it, but I love doing that kind of stuff. Now, I'm really excited for what Hotone's got coming up, and we'll see what happens. But I want to thank Noah Krieg over at Hotone. Thank you so much for trusting in me and Brian, and trusting us to make a little video about this pedal and talk about it. It's not world's greatest review. It's our first ever pedal review, and we're just going to see what happens. I want to thank Ryan over at Neural DSP for the gift of the John Mayer plugin. It hasn't been turned off since I turned it on, and that's what you hear throughout this whole thing. No other pedals apart from the Hotone going into it. Yeah. So we'll see. This is our first pedal demo, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm really excited to make more videos in future. And you know, if you own this, hit me up and let's talk about it. But if you're interested in this, come by the house, come play it, or feel free to leave a comment and all that. So yeah, have a good one.
Like how you could hear the tracking giving out at the end.